Hi, I'm Jim Franks, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. Over the years, there's been a debate over the Old Testament versus the New Testament. Or put another way, the Old Covenant versus the New Covenant. We agree that Jesus Christ ushered in the New Covenant, or New Agreement, at the time of his death. But exactly what that means is a different question. Some take the approach that the New Covenant does away with the Old Covenant and everything related to it. Some go so far as to proclaim that the law, the Ten Commandments themselves, are no longer applicable. But when pressed, they will not agree that it is okay to murder, lie, or steal. So how can you proclaim the law is done away with, but some of the law is still around? Either it is done away, or it is not. This is where the discussion takes you. Some believe the Apostle Paul mirrors this argument and supports the idea of doing away with the law. Some even claim that the Apostle Paul was schizophrenic. In one book, Romans, he supports the law and calls it spiritual. But in another book, Galatians, he denounces the law. So which is it? Well, our verse today is relevant to this discussion. It is found in the 7th chapter of the book of Hebrews. The subject of Hebrews chapter 7 is Jesus Christ and his eternal priesthood. As context to this discussion, the New Covenant did bring with it a new priesthood. It is called the priesthood of Melchizedek. Now, this is in contrast to the Levitical priesthood that came into existence with the Old Covenant. The Old Covenant was an agreement between God and the nation of Israel. The New Covenant is an agreement between God and each individual Christian. The high priest under the New Covenant is none other than Jesus Christ. Hebrews 7 verse 3 tells us that Melchizedek was without father, without mother, without genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God, remains a priest continually. Under the Old Covenant, the high priest required that one be a direct descendant of Aaron, the brother of Moses. Under the New Covenant, Jesus Christ is the high priest forever. The human being, Jesus Christ, was not physically from the family of Aaron. So he did not qualify to become the high priest under the Old Covenant. But Hebrews establishes that he was from a high priest that preceded Aaron, that is, Melchizedek. While my purpose in this episode is not to explain Melchizedek, the origin of Jesus Christ as high priest is connected to Melchizedek. So now let's read verses 20 to 28 in Hebrews 7. And inasmuch as he was not made priest without an oath, for they have become priests without an oath, but he with an oath by him who said to him, The Lord has sworn and will not relent. You are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. By so much more Jesus has become a surety of a better covenant. Also there were many priests because they were prevented by death from continuing. But he, because he continues forever, has an unchangeable priesthood. Therefore he is also able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them. For such a high priest was fitting for us, who is holy, harmless, undefiled, separate from sinners, and has become higher than the heavens, who does not need daily, as those high priests, to offer up sacrifices, first for his own sins and then for the people's. For this he did once for all when he offered up himself. For the law appoints as high priests men who have weaknesses, but the word of the oath, which came after the law, appoints the Son who has been perfected forever. Well, verse 24 makes it abundantly clear that Jesus Christ is our high priest. He does not need to sacrifice animals as did the high priest from the Levitical system. His priesthood is unchangeable. So Christ is both our sacrifice and our high priest. He willingly gave his life and shed his blood for our sins. Verse 24 contrasts the new covenant with Jesus Christ as our high priest with the old covenant under the Levitical system and the physical high priest.
If you've been enjoying Verse by Verse and want to help the show grow, here's what you can do to get the word out. Wherever you're listening, make sure to subscribe. If you're on a platform that accepts reviews and ratings, those can both make a big difference in helping other people find us. Verse by Verse is a companion podcast to the Daily Bible Verse blog, which you can find on the Life, Hope, and Truth Learning Center. Check out the show notes for more.